61 News at 10 starts now.
Right now at 10, deciding on sales as Connecticut prepares for recreational marijuana stores to open. Find out how cities and towns are choosing if they want any shops.
Also, breaking news tonight as Yale Law School says it's leaving the U.S. News and World Report rankings. Hear why the dean says those ratings are hurting law students.
And plans are moving forward for a major development in one Connecticut city. We'll tell you how empty parking lots could become full of homes and shopping. But we begin at 10 with how cities and towns are preparing for the recreational sale of marijuana across Connecticut. Good evening, I'm Jen Bernstein.
And I'm Ben Goldman. Thanks for joining us here. Recreational use became legal in our state more than a year ago, but there are still no shops open. So communities are deciding whether to allow them. Voters in 3 different cities and towns decided on it in last week's election. Town leaders in Waterford voted against it last night. That's where we find Fox 61's Tony Black joining us live with more tonight. Tony?
Yeah, Ben, in a 4-0 vote Tuesday night, the Waterford Planning and Zoning Commission voted against the sale of recreational marijuana and production here in the town. The state says adult use sales could come in the next couple of months for areas that are planning to sell it.
There's a lot of work that needs to be done to make sure that we are safely setting up a well-regulated industry.
Adult use marijuana became legal in Connecticut in July of 2021. Shops have yet to open for sales to people 21 and over. Caitlin Krasalt with the Connecticut Department of Consumer Protection says it could be coming by the end of this year or early next year.
We have worked hard to make licenses available and go through the application processes and all sorts of tasks that need to be completed in order for adult use sales to begin in Connecticut.
Lawmakers left it to the municipalities to decide whether or not they wanted the sales in their community. Neighbors in Ledyard voted last Tuesday to allow the sale of recreational marijuana. Waterbury residents did the same. Those casting their ballots did reject production within city lines. A majority of voters in Litchfield did not want sales in their town. And just Tuesday night, the Waterford Planning and Zoning Commissioners all voted to ban the sale and production. The commission chairman said it was appropriate to do instead of rushing to approve a regulation before their year-long moratorium expired, so people looking to get licenses in towns like Waterford will have to look elsewhere.
Part of the requirement for that is to receive local zoning approval from the town where you plan to locate your business.
Many Connecticut towns have already prohibited the sale, including Avon, Southington, Old Lyme, Groton, and Middlefield. Others are welcoming the sales, including Bloomfield, Bristol, Hartford, Wyndham, and Suffield. Many more communities have a moratorium in place, pausing any action while town leaders consider the sales.
Our law takes into consideration a lot of social equity priorities and goals, and that's been a big part of the licensure process.
Now, a town that votes against or decides against adult use sales right now can go back and change those zoning laws if they change their mind. There's no deadline for when they have to pick one or the other. Some municipalities may not even have to change their zoning laws if they already have cannabis zoning laws for medical use. Live in Waterford, Tony Black, Fox 61 News.
All right, Tony, thank you. Let's get a first check of your forecast. Those cold temperatures are setting in.
You say that again. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now with your forecast. Hi, Rach.
Yeah, we have to get used to this because they're going to be sticking around here for the next week or so. The average high temperature last week was in the upper 60s. Average high this week in the mid 40s. It seems like it's either one or the other. We're either in the 70s this month or we're in the 40s. There's almost no in between. Right now it's 38 degrees in Hartford, middle 40s for the New Haven area, and temperatures are in the 30s to right around 40 degrees here at 10:04 this evening. Low temperatures tonight dropping into the 20s to right around 30 degrees. Even though it will be a chilly stretch of weather, it will be dry and mostly sunny. We will start the day off with quite a bit of clouds, but I think we break for more sunshine midday into the afternoon, turning mostly sunny, but still a bit breezy with high temperatures in the mid 40s, about 5 degrees below average for this time of year, and a clear and chilly evening tomorrow night with some stuff you can see in the night sky. We've got a meteor shower. You can spot the International Space Station. We'll take you through that, plus taking a look ahead to Thanksgiving week. Is there anything standing in the way of our plans? We'll explain coming up.
Thank you, Rachel. Well, we are following breaking news tonight as Yale University's law school says it's leaving the U.S. News and World Report rankings.
It's a huge challenge to college rating systems that fellow Ivy League school Harvard University is joining. Fox 61's Sarah Sanchez joining us live in the Breaking News Center tonight to tell us about Yale's announcement. Sarah?
Well, Ben and Jen, the dean of Yale's law school, says it will no longer take part in the U.S. News and World Report ranking, saying the process hurts the commitments for careers in law. In a statement posted on the law school's website, Dean Heather Gerken says, in part, quote, the U.S. News rankings are profoundly flawed. They disincentivize programs that support public interest careers, champion need-based aid, and welcome working-class students into the profession. Gerken goes on to say the U.S. News rankings devalues graduates pursuing advanced careers. She also claims the rankings exclude loan forgiveness programs when calculating student debt loans, that is, which ultimately discourages law schools from supporting students who want a public service career. And in a similar statement, the dean of Harvard Law says it's withdrawing from the U.S. News rankings as well. The dean there says the U.S. World News Report's metrics work against the work Harvard Law does to increase the socioeconomic diversity of their student body. In the Breaking News Center, I'm Sarah Sanchez. Ben, Jen, back to you.
Interesting, Sarah. Thank you very much. Well, new at 10, New Haven police have released surveillance video from last week's homicide during an attempted robbery in a liquor store parking lot. Police are looking to identify the man in a blue hoodie here, seen in this video. The shooting happened at GI Package Store on Ferry Street back on November 8th. 61-year-old Mark Papacoda was found unresponsive on the ground and was pronounced dead at the hospital. Anyone with information about the suspect or shooting should call New Haven police.
New at 10 tonight, an Enfield father is facing charges almost 1 year after his baby boy died when he was exposed to fentanyl. Enfield police say 30-year-old Lennon Rodriguez turned himself in today and is now charged with criminally negligent homicide and risk of injury to a minor. Last November, officers responded to the death of a 1-year-old boy. The medical examiner says his cause of death was acute fentanyl intoxication. Rodriguez is now free on $50,000 bond tonight and is due in court later on this month.
A family of 11 is without a home tonight after a fire in Middletown. That fire happened just before 4:30 this morning on Knox Boulevard, which is in the Westfield section of the city. The fire was knocked down quickly and no injuries were reported.
A 16-year-old boy is facing charges and a 15-year-old girl is in the hospital tonight after a shooting that happened in New Britain. Police say it happened on West Pearl Street just before 6 yesterday evening. The boy is being charged with assault, reckless endangerment, and illegal discharge of a gun. Tatiana Young says that she heard some kind of fight upstairs before a bullet came right through her ceiling.
It was scary because I didn't know what was going on upstairs, and I didn't even really think something like that could happen up there. They seem like a picture-perfect family for the most part.
New Britain Public Schools did release a statement saying it's offering counseling to the family as well as students and teachers. The boy is being held at Hartford Juvenile Detention Center.
Well, new at 10, East Haven police arrested 3 teens who they say fired splatter guns into a crowded festival on the town's green. 18-year-old John Raymond and 2 juveniles are facing several charges. They're accused of pulling up to the East Haven Fall Festival on September 10th and shooting about 300 splatter balls at groups of people from inside a vehicle. Police say one boy's eye was seriously injured when he was hit. Police say these splatter guns use little water or gel-based beads, like Orbeez, shot out of something similar to a BB gun. And in many recent cases nationwide, police say teens were freezing these Orbeez and shooting them almost like a real BB or a pellet gun.
Tonight, investigators are looking into what sparked a huge fire at a scrapyard in Montville this morning. The fire marshal says that the first calls came in around 6:15 this morning. When firefighters arrived, the 60-foot-high scrapyard was fully engulfed in flames. Smoke from the fire traveled all the way to East Lyme and Waterford. DEEP was also there to check the water and air quality. So far tonight, inspectors have found no issues.
Make sure that everything in the atmosphere is safe for the people in and around the area so that we can confirm that they're in clean air.
About 20 fire departments, including some from Rhode Island, helped put that fire out. No firefighters were injured. Well, new at 10 tonight, a step forward for a massive redevelopment project in Hartford that's been in the works for years now.
A developer has been chosen for that project in the south end of downtown. Fox 61's Gabby Molina live in Hartford tonight with more on what this could mean for the city. Hey, Gabby.
Hey, Jen and Ben. So the parking lot that I'm standing in right now is right across from the Bushnell, and this is one of the areas that would be transformed from all of these empty spaces into a brand new neighborhood with a goal of connecting people to the downtown area and revitalizing this space. The city of Hartford is a step closer to seeing the South Downtown area be completely transformed. What are currently parking lots that often go unused would become a vibrant residential and commercial area.
This is an opportunity to take that sea of surface parking and create a new neighborhood, create residential mixed-use development that connects Main Street to the Capitol area.
A selection committee for the Capital Region Development Authority has chosen the Michaels Organization, a developer out of New Jersey, to bring the vision to life.
The group that was selected, Michaels, is a national development firm with tremendous experience all across the country, and it's exciting to be able to bring that expertise and experience to Hartford.
The Bushnell South project looks to bridge the gap between downtown Hartford and the Park Street area and make Bushnell Park the center of the city, something people who live in the neighborhood say is strongly needed.
I can't tell you how thrilled we are. My wife and I have lived here for 18 years. We absolutely love this neighborhood. But those parking lots act as a dead zone, and it just breaks up the whole community.
The parking lots literally divide the neighborhood in half, and we'd love to see them come closer together.
It's still early on in the process, but the idea has been there for years. Renderings from the CRDA show what it could look like when it's finished. Green spaces, storefronts, and a variety of housing options to help bring more life into the area.
Just more housing, more feet on the street, more low-income housing, more median-income housing, more homeowners.
This, like a lot of other developments, will be a mix of market rate and affordable. We think that's the best, most responsible, most sustainable way to develop.
All while preserving the historic aspects the area has.
It's about getting that balance of a scale that fits the neighborhood and honors the history all around it.
So what's next in this process? Well, the CRDA does have to approve that developer. That's on the agenda for their meeting tomorrow evening. Live in Hartford, Gabby Molina, Fox 61 News.